Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalatu wassalamu ala Rasulil Ameen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected Zimmadarane Jamaat, Arkane Jamaat, and my dear brothers and sisters of this great Tahreek, those who have assembled here in this auditorium for this special function from the historical city of Hyderabad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I take it as a great responsibility to stand in front of you and speak on the topic ख़वातीन में तहरीकी इस्लामी नई ज़रूरतें नई जेतें, that is the Islamic movement among women, new needs, new dimensions or challenges. May Allah bless me to speak what is required and relevant in a clear manner, and bless each one of us to understand and enable me and you and the entire Tahreek and those who have assembled here to act upon that. Arkane Jamaat, from the report presented by Qayyum Jamaat yesterday, you must have noticed that compared to the first 7 decades of the history of our Tahreek, there's a great improvement in the involvement of women in our Tahreek during this last decade. In comparison to the last Arkan conference, now we see on and off the stage and in the organizing committee and also as volunteers, multiple times more number of women participants. It's not just a number, but the ratio has increased. And the quality of the roles has also improved. Now we can see our women contributing and actively involving in different fields in various parts of our country. Even though there were attempts right from the beginning to involve women in the Tahreek, the pace was very slow due to the condition of the millat. But during the last few years, Muslim women's visibility and involvement in different fields has seen a revolutionary growth thanks to 3 reasons. Number 1, more number of Muslim girls are getting opportunities to acquire higher education now. Number 2, the Shaheen Bagh movement against CAA and NRC. Number 3, the COVID period, which made the new media communication and online social engagements more popular, and it made the path easy for our women to contribute. In all these areas, our women and girls, that is, those associated with Jamaat-e-Islami Hind and coming from our families and institutions, have proved to be far ahead of other women and girls in the community, thanks to the efforts of our visionary leaders right from the beginning. The literature produced in support of women's social and political engagement and the speeches by our scholars and leaders have paved the way for our women to move forward without any guilt, in spite of all accusations and hurdles from inside and outside. We also need to acknowledge and pray for those women who pioneered in bringing changes in our society and spread the message of our Tahreek far and wide among women and bring more women into this great movement. This they were able to do by struggling in and out to overcome the hurdles one by one. In this context, I remember with gratitude, with du'as, we can't ignore them, especially during this last decade, our dear sisters, Amatur Rasak Sahiba, and Munira Khanam Sahiba. They are no more in this world. They did their duty in a very exemplary manner, and they left this world. May Allah as Amalus Salihat and give them higher position in Jannat al-Firdaus. When we think of the progress of women in this period, the first thing that comes to my mind are the two national campaigns that we were able to organize. Both the campaigns helped in setting new narratives in favor of Islam, through the campaign on strong family, strong society. During February 2021, we were able to identify, apart from other achievements, one special achievement that I feel this is the greatest achievement, that is, we were able to identify as many as 2,635 new talented women across the nation. Whereas the campaign under the caption, Morality is Freedom, organized during the September this year, has been widely received as a required initiative. And apart from other achievements, here also we were able to identify as many as 6,308 new talented women. We have been able to produce thousands of women orators through these campaigns and also our other regular programs. Another great leap during this period is the launch of 2 e-magazines, one in Urdu named Hadia and the other one in English named Aura. There are many achievements which we can list for these 2 magazines as a medium to spread the message of the Tehreek and set counter narratives against Islamophobic narratives and discourses, especially related to Muslim women. But the magazine's greatest achievement is that they helped in achieving new Muslim writers. Many people with surprise, many senior journalists with surprise tell us that from where have you got these many number of Muslim writers? Where were these women before? They ask us. Through Aura e-magazine, we were able to introduce 225 new English women writers. And also, through Hadia e-magazine, we were able to introduce 190 Urdu writers as well as 20 poetess. Through regular trainings and feedbacks, they are now equipped to contribute in other Jamaat-e-Islami in publications, and also nowadays we can see their articles appearing in mainstream media. Due to the planned efforts of our HRD department, various workshops have been conducted to polish and channelize the skills of our women cadre, resulting in more number of skilled women in different fields. Now we can see our women actively contributing and getting involved in many areas like entrepreneurship, khidmat-e-khalq, counseling, and so on through different NGOs and other platforms in the general society, even in focused and developing zones. In every zone, we now have women who can address the mainstream media without any hesitation. The focused efforts in Muslim women professionals has resulted in the formation of platforms for them in different zones, which helps in facilitating regular engagements with them and utilizing their talents and expertise towards achieving our Mikati mission. Shoaib Khawatin's initiation to form National Federation of GAO has now resulted in identifying talented girls and introducing them at national level and empower them to be future leaders for women. Also, on this occasion, in front of this great gathering, I'm very glad to announce that we are all set to launch very soon one more e-magazine which is going to be in Hindi named Abha. And also, we are all set to start 2 Quran academies, online Quran academies, one in English and one in Urdu, exclusively for women. I request and I would like to say that it is the duty of everyone present here, all of us, to promote these ventures so that it will reach more people and we will be able to achieve results. This revolutionary progress, which I have been mentioning, can be counted as great if we analyze our starting point of the journey of this Tahreek and also the present condition of Muslim women in our country. My question is it enough? Can we be satisfied with the progress of women in our Tahreek and also in our community? We can very well say that women in Jamaat-e-Islami Hind and they have better spaces and opportunities to do their duties as society. But when we compare it with the Sahabiyat, the first generation of Muslim women, and considering the need of our present generation, can we be satisfied with whatever we are doing? I am sure you all will say, along miles to go. Brothers and sisters, whatever we have achieved so far is the result of the struggles of our predecessors. We are here, sitting in the chairs prepared by them, which they have cleared. We speak from the stages set by them. We write for the pages started by them. May Allah receive all their efforts. Now, the question is, what are we going to contribute before we leave from this world or become inactive due to reasons beyond our control? We need to examine what are the needs and challenges in front of us. As Muslims, we have both internal and external challenges. We also have, at the same time, a lot of opportunities before us. Let us analyze them one by one and see how well we can proceed further. I have listed them as 8 points. First of all, as you all know, the sort of narratives and discourses in the air to spread Islamophobia are mostly circling around Muslim women, their status, their rights, and so on. The narratives before the Shaheen Bagh movement has completely changed, and now it is like there are more attempts to demonize the community by targeting Muslim women and discouraging their presence with their identity. We need to produce more literature to resist this, of course, but that is not enough. We need to be empowered to utilize the new media and communication tools in a more effective way. The speed with which the discourses and narratives are spreading cannot be stopped by the speed with which we are learning to use these tools. More women have to come up to engage themselves positively in preparing and spreading counter narratives. Many in our community are still hesitant to use the social media platforms productively. The digital divide can be reduced only by conscious efforts. Secondly, the gender narratives, including LGBTQ+, have taken new forms and shapes and have become more like political movements. We can't say for sure that their impact is not there in our families and our institutions. We need to have more materials in text and videos to withstand this wave, especially in the language of the new generation. I'm not saying that they all should be only in English. Every language has undergone drastic changes in vocabulary during the last 10 years. There has to be in-depth scientific analysis of the matter as well as simple explanations in capsule forms. More women and girls should come up and get engaged in this task, and they have to be spared for that. Thirdly, new forms of customs, traditions, and superstitions. This is the other extreme of the matter. Even now, the entire Muslim community is not completely out of customs and traditions which are against the teachings of the Quran and Sunnah. And now new forms are being introduced which stifle the progress of women. Just take the example of marriages. Azan and Masnoon Nikah is beyond the imagination of many, even in our circles. Not only more awareness and literature, but I think some bold steps and discipline matters are required in this area so that the time, money, and resources wasted for this can be utilized for more productive works. We need to save ourselves and the entire Ummah from those big fat weddings. We have better things to do. So, brothers and sisters, we all have to be, especially our women and girls and boys, our men and women, we all have to be role models and take initiatives in this regard. Fourthly, Maslak rigidity and lack of inclusiveness. The beauty of Islam is in its plurality. The policy of Jamaat-e-Islami Hind is to be inclusive of different opinions with regards to fiqh masail. Whatever is clearly stated as haram is haram, and everyone associated with this tahreek is expected to be an example for others in that without any doubt. And the remaining, we leave to the discretion of our cadre to choose whatever school of thought or opinion they want to select in areas where there is more than one opinion among the scholars based on valid proof. This has to be practically followed by all. This is true for both men and women, but when it comes to women's issues, the rigidity is felt more and severe in our community. The result is the Ummah loses a great number of young women and girls, and they are utilized by others against Islam and to spread Islamophobia. We need to understand that in this era of Islamophobic public places and lack of recognition and opportunities and acceptance, our youth who are more exposed to different opinions and ijtihad across the world would naturally select the easy path if there are more opinions. So, the leaders of this Ummah, we all need to be a little more tolerant and inclusive in order not to lose our talented women force. We need to be more careful in making things haram with no valid proof from the Quran and Sunnah. So more literature and awareness are the need of the hour in this area also. We need to be very cautious of the other extreme also, that is seen among the youth in the millat. That is complete freedom from all basic manners and usul. We must save our young women and girls to not get affected by such trends through proper, timely guidance with hikmat. This will be possible only if we take them together with us and not by keeping them away. By positively engaging, we can save the youth from falling into those thoughts, tendencies, and trends that are totally against Islamic teachings. Fifthly, accessibility and female-friendly decent spaces. It is an undeniable fact that this Tehreek took initiatives right from the beginning to engage access for our girls in educational institutions.
रखने वाले तमाम अरकान भाइयों बहनों का इस्तकबाल है।
Those women who lead the movement
इसका मौका नहीं है कि हम कुछ तमहीदी या तकल्लुफ़ की गुफ्तगू करें, वक्त बहुत
The need of the other hour is
को सामने रखते हुए अब तक तहरीक के लिए अफराद साजी के अमल को तालीम के हवाले से
need access to better professionally qualified teachers, scholars, and educational environments. They also need more access to good libraries and other centers of learning. Similarly, the women's spaces of our masajids are to be revisited and rechecked. Actually, we can do a lot by providing decent spaces for women in our masajid. They should be more comfortable and attractive places for our women and children. Conscious efforts should be made to utilize this provision for the tarbiyat and empowerment of our women folk. Another area is that of sports and entertainment. We need to initiate in setting up Islamic female-friendly playgrounds where women and girls can engage in sports and games in an Islamic way. Health clubs, gymnastic centers, and other such physical activity centers can be established at selected places to attract more women as well as to maintain the health of our women. There should be purposely created platforms for our girls and women to regularly display their artistic and cultural adabi talents, especially considering the fact that such platforms outside are not at all suitable for our girls and women. Sixthly, change in mindset and family atmosphere. In this present world, even by sitting at home, our women can contribute a lot to Tehreek. Back office or work from home systems are a fashion today, and there are many women from rural India also working for multinational companies situated in America or Europe. This is a possibility which our women who are not in a position to go out and work should utilize, and the Tehreek is in great need of this. We produce many alima through our own institutions, but not many are utilized. Many simply disappear after marriage. Many talents are not getting properly utilized and getting stagnant. For this, there should be a supportive atmosphere at home. Proper timetables should be followed at home, in which there has to be time allotted for reading, research, and learning new skills, and do something as per the talent and experience to contribute for the great mission that the Tehreek has taken up. Gender roles are to be redefined as per the Quran and Sunnah. My dear sisters, we need to rethink about our menus and cooking styles also. What we produce mostly out of hours of struggles in the kitchen are mostly less nutritious. Maximum utility out of minimum resources should be part of our tarbiyat in the preparation of food, and the same is the case with dressing and shopping. More orientation and counseling are required for our boys and young men to be supportive in this regard. With more girls getting highly educated and opting for jobs before marriage itself, the groom should be equipped with the tactics to handle the new challenges in family life as per the Islamic rules in a diplomatic and empathetic way. On the whole, we need to orient our families on time management and managing the household chores so that the women and girls get more time to productively engage in Tehreeki activities. The seventh one is including women in mainstream communities. In this, Jamaat-e-Islami Hind is far, far ahead and better when we compare the situation of the entire Muslim Ummah. As a policy, Jamaat wants to include women in all mainstream committees and platforms, including the shuras. This is essential for them to understand the policies of the Tehreek in a better way, develop their talents and contribute more effectively. Alhamdulillah, this is happening in most of the halqas, and our Umrah halqa are all encouraging this. But the reality is, this is not happening on a larger scale in the society. The reasons given are difficulty in getting talented and experienced women. Our Tehreek has a great history of starting great ventures with unqualified, less professional people, but committed and experienced people who are ready to learn. And they have proved themselves to be very successful. And considering the experience, only with opportunity, only by trying, experiences will come. Another problem is many people say that the difficulty in conducting meetings. If only men are there in the committee, we can conduct the meeting anywhere, anytime. But if women are there, it's very difficult. We have to consider their, all these, it should be more discipline and all that. But we need to know that when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with comparatively very, very less facilities and communication tools, if he involved women in all these areas, what is stopping us? We have to think about it. And as per the Quran says, وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ. This will be possible only when we have engagement in a complementing and cooperative manner. The last point is, we need to adopt new methods and styles. We are very comfortable with and very active in traditional methods of our work. But there are many fields open in front of us which we haven't fully explored. For example, the present Indian society demands that more of our women should be engaged in khidmat-e-khalq. When the landslide happened in Wayanad, our Tehreeki women were the first ones to reach, and they were there throughout, and that was being appreciated by the national and international media. National leaders went there and they were waiting for our women to finish their work, to come out and to galle lagane ke liye, to appreciate them. And one of the leaders of a political party of that place, he told that these are not normal women, they are angels. And it has opened many doors for our Tehreek. Great mileage was got. And like this, there are many platforms which we suggest we have to form, like Sadbhavana Manch, Dharmik Janmorcha. And this type of engagement with the Indian society, we need to have different styles of working we need to adopt and work. In short, whether we accept it or not, the sky is getting expanded at a fast pace for women in every field. If we don't master the new tools and keenly observe the new trends and get ourselves prepared to utilize the opportunities in front of us, we will be pushed far behind in history. Women are entering into every field of social, economic, and political life in today's world. We need our women in all these fields to engage with them. For this, we should be equally, or rather more equipped. Finally, I would like to tell my sisters and daughters one thing: family. That is our first priority. Anything that affects that system adversely has to be stopped. But family shouldn't be an excuse. We need to learn the tips to manage family, children, as well as the Tehreeki work in a balanced manner. We celebrate the sacrifices of our sisters in Palestine. We quote the examples of Sahabe Kiram, Sahabiyat, and so on in our speeches. Yes, I am concluding. They also had adversities. They had children. Some of them were widows. So most of them were poor. And some of them had to work and earn for the family. But still they were contributing. When the history and the needs changed from Makkah to Medina, they were prepared and equipped to do what was the need and contribute for the Muslim Ummah. So we need to think, are we ready for the change? Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. So only if we decide to change, there will be change. Finally, I just want to conclude. हर शीशा टूट जाता है पत्थर की चोट से. हर शीशा टूट जाता है पत्थर की चोट से. पत्थर ही टूट जाए वो शीशा तलाश कर. वाखिर दावाना अनिल हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन. अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू.
बहुत बहुत